But now, speaking of Khabib, so Khabib's
Whoa.
statement. Khabib's statement. So let's discuss that statement. Do you believe that Khabib actually is willing to come back and fight?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. So who do you
100%.
feel right now? Who would you predict is going to be his next fight?
To say
Oliveira.
right to say right now would be impossible. But like, if the question is, do you really think he's serious or whatever the case may be, he wouldn't have said. Khabib is not a game player like that, not publicly. He wouldn't say publicly. He wouldn't say to Dana White, knowing Dana White's going to tell the public, and then not try to fight.
Gotcha.
You know, why I think he's saying that is that we all know he doesn't want to fight Conor again. I don't think he does. I really don't think he wants to deal with that. You know, so if Conor would have starched Dustin, Dana is getting hard thinking about the fact that he's going to do it. Opposite. I think Khabib is going to be like, I already fought him. I don't give a fuck. You can give whoever you want the title. I'm out. I think he either wants Oliveira. He wouldn't. I don't think he'd mind fighting Dustin again. You know, or maybe Michael Chandler or something like that if he were to win. So that these things intrigue him because Khabib doesn't want to do any rematches. He's bored with that. He wants a new challenge. I've told you guys from the start, and even Dana White kind of was hinting at the press conference where Oliveira, Khabib really likes what he's seeing from Oliveira, and I told you that should be his next fight. Oliveira deserves it, and Oliveira is a good candidate for him too. Oliveira is good everywhere.
So I agree that Oliveira is the most likely next opponent for Khabib if he comes back, because Oliveira is basically the new Tony. Like, he has a crazy winning streak. He has that insane jiu-jitsu. That's going to be a threat for Khabib from the bottom, and he has, like, honestly, he's more technical and more of a sound striker than Tony Ferguson at the moment. So I think that's probably more, but I mean, let's see if Oliveira might end up fighting Gaethje. So maybe he'll wait till Oliveira fights Gaethje and sees what happens with that. My second most likely to fight Khabib, I would say, would be Conor. If Conor is able to beat Dustin Poirier, like, within, like, the first 2 minutes, I'll say, like, the first 2 minutes. If he could do that in the first 2 minutes and look impressive, then
and what he says
Khabib,
on the mic after.
Right.
Yeah.
What Conor says on the mic after. He has to say the right things that Khabib wants to hear. He could get it.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be respectful.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I say the right things.
Yeah.
If he comes out and says that little rat and fucking Abdullah sleeves,
he'll
be like, I'm not dealing with this again.
But
if he says, like, we dealt with a lot, this and that, you want competition, this is where it's at. You want to see the real Conor, come back and if he says something like that, Khabib is going to be like, ooh, this sounds nice. But you got to talk to Khabib the way Khabib wants to be spoken to. He's the king. Conor's the king in his own respect, but he's the king of the division. And you gotta, if you want that belt, if you want that chance again, a guy who fucking despises you, you got to work your way back in.
Yeah. If
Conor's got to be smart on that mic, and I hope his team is telling him that.
Fair play, Khabib. Shout out to your father, but the fight is right here, brother.
Yeah. Like, mention the COVID, mention, we've all lost people, listen to that, just say like this and that. And Khabib went through it. Me and him have had our differences. I don't like the guy, but I respect what he had to go through. And it's like, but you didn't fight the real me.
Yeah.
You didn't fight the real me. You fought a guy who just who didn't give a shit. He's like, come see this Conor. Like, say it right there. You want to come back, you know what you're coming back to. He's like, it's either me for the belt or take your ass back home. And that's it. Like, say the right things to Khabib. He might come back for you.
So I think there's three potential matchups for Khabib. I think if Conor wins even a boring decision against Poirier, he's automatically getting the title shot. He's Conor McGregor.
He's gonna try to make it happen no matter what.
He's gonna get it. It doesn't matter if it's boring. You know what I mean? But I think if Dustin wins maybe a boring decision, and let's just say Michael Chandler, knocks what's his name, Hooker the fuck out, he might get the next title shot. But I also think that if, let's just say, Dustin wins a boring decision and Hooker Chandler is not a good fight, I think that might be a good argument for Oliveira getting the fight. And I could see that happening. But if Conor wins, you guys think he's going to be respectful? I think he's going to say some low-key disrespectful
shit. I don't think
he's
going to be disrespectful. I said that's what he needs to do.
I think he's going to say some wild shit. if he wins, wild shit's going to come out of his mouth, and he's going to try and generate the hype for that next fight.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah.
And